Good morning everyone. Good morning sir. My name is Marcel Similar. For this video, I'm tackle about the most well known traits and attitude of the Filipino. So this is my second video report in subject CFLM 1. So let's start. First, we have the hospitality. Filipino have hospitality is a trait of displayed by every Filipino, characterized by heartwarming generosity and friendliness exhibit to foreigners and local alike. If someone are if someone are visiting your house or they you have an visitors, they welcome with a heartwarming and the friendliness exhibit the other people. Filipinos are well known for being hospitable. This is one of the most popular qualities of Filipino. Most foreigners who have gone to the Philippines fell in love with the warm hospitality they have experienced while staying in country. This is a kind of value system which has existed in the country thousands of years ago. Good things is that the hospitality of the Filipinos is not only shown to the foreigners but to its fellow Filipino as well. Hospitality of being Filipino is not what is not only for the foreigner but in also in the fellow Filipinos kababayan. Hospitality of Filipinos is shown in the following sample situations. So the first situations we have when a person visits a friend's house, the host greets him or her with a very warm welcome. The host will immediately let their visitors sit down and will prepare a meal or snack plus drink for the visitors. The host will insist that the friend not leave the house with an empty stomach. A host will always make sure had a great time visiting of them. This situation is familiar in all the Filipinos house. If there is a visitors in their house, they prepare meal or snack to offer in the visitors. Next, we have the people offer their guest room to visitors if they are going to spend the time. People, these these situations are also familiar in the Filipino culture. If there are visitors in your house, they spend the night in your house, your room or the your room or the guest room is for the visitors you offered. Next, we have meals offered to guests are very special. A host always find a ways to prepare good tasting food that her visitor wants to eat. If these situations, hospitality are like, and if someone visit your house, you ask them what is he or she likes to eat, and you prepare that for that persons or that visitors. Number two, the most well-known traits and attitudes of the Filipino. Number two, we have the respect. This is often observed not just by younger people but also by people of ages. In the Philippines, respect for one's elder is a tradition. In Philippines, respect is not only for others or not only for the youngest, or it involves from the elders. They respect the elders, like if they going home, they mano or bless mano. Ganyan. First, we have the po and opo. Po and opo, these words are spoken by the Filipinos when talking to elders or in order to show respect to persons in authority. These Filipino words means yes when answering or taking to the elders. Po and opo is the best best things that respect the elders. Like when someone asking you a questions, if she or he or she are older, are elders, you use the po and opo. Next, we have the pagmamano. Pagmamano, other ways of showing respect to the elders when greeting them. This is done by putting their elder's hand on the forehead. So if you are going to home and you see your grandmother or grandfather, you act or you act pagmamano or respect them in order to going your home. See, next we have the Filipinos also show respect at work by making a bow to their employers. Making bow to their employers is a Filipinos also for showing respect. If someone are what do we call if someone will if someone promoting the employers or you are promoted by your company or your boss, they showing bow for respect of yours. Number 3, we have the strong family ties and religions. Number 3, Filipinos values their families so much that they tend to keep families intact through the generations. Families go to church and pray together because their religion is important and create a strong bond marking God as a center of their lives. Filipinos believe in only one God and majority of the populations are Catholics. It is a value system of the Filipinos to pray before eating, going to bed, before the start of the meeting, conference of program, gathering, and etc. Strong family ties and religion. Filipinos are also always praying like before meal, before go to sleep, and with programs or conference or meetings, they Filipinos are always praying. On weekend, most Filipino families make sure to have quality time together by watching televisions or eating a family meal, watch movie or going to beach resorts. On weekend, Filipinos are many activity for their families. They going to enjoy or what do we call that, to gather some quality time for their families. Next, we have the number 4. Number 4, we have the generosity and helpfulness. Aside from being hospitable, Filipinos are also well known for being generous. They share what they have to the people around them even when they only have a little. Example, if there is food like bulad or others or etc. Filipinos share it to their neighbors or their people around here or they what do we they offered some little food that they have. So that is the number 4. Next, we have the this could be felt during birthday, weddings, or fiesta. Filipinos are very generous during birthdays, weddings, or fiesta or party. They invite visitors or invite friends to come in their house to eat some or to celebrate with them. Next, when visitors came to celebrate, great tasting special foods are specially prepared for everyone. It is shared by friends, families, or even strangers. If someone are going in their house or in the Filipino house, they prepare some food for everyone, even if it's a friend, families, or even a strangers. They um, they they offered food to eat. When you will be in trouble, Filipinos cannot refuse to help you. They are always willing to assist you or lend a hand. Sample, if you have a problem in your what do we call in your barangay, like you are the victim of trouble, like sumbagay ana, Filipinos are help you, or Filipinos are willing to assist you in that trouble. Number 5, the second to the last. First, we have the strong work ethics. Another good things most Filipinos have is being hardworking people. They are always willing to work almost the whole day to provide their needs of their families. Filipino farmers through earning so little, but they work harder with not much compensation. Strong work ethics with the Filipino is a best thing of the Filipino people. Hardworking Filipino are also in their work, like they going to abroad for finding some job to earn to provide their needs for their families. They sacrifice their time for making work or job in other countries. Next, aside from the regular works, Filipinos always find creative ways to look for the other sources of income, like creating a small business for their homes where they sell foods or other items for the convenience of their neighbors. Example, if are someone is um, tinda sa kuan kining mga sudan or barbecue, they sell barbecue or like loader. It is a part, it is a example of the strong work ethics of the Filipino. Next, we have the loving and caring. Loving and caring because of their generosity, hospitality, and religiosity. Filipinos are found to be the sweetest and most loving people in the world. It is expressed by both foreigners and Filipino women that most Filipino men are so sweet and romantic when it comes to love. They will send their beloved flowers, bring her to the very romantic place, takes her sweet coats, and tell often how special she is to them. Filipino women are also romantic. She very caring, which often makes some foreigners want to marry them. Women tend to prepare dinner before their husband comes home. They love and value the relationship, always staying faithful to their husband. They love deeply and sincerely. Loving and caring the last the last most well known traits and attitude of the Filipino. Loving and caring are always in the Filipino people, even if they marry foreigners or other person or other countries. They show their love for their husband or wives. That is a Filipino. Next topic, we have the negative traits of Filipino. So we have the next topic, negative traits of Filipino. First, we have the fatalism. Fatalism is bahala na or come what may attitude. When Filipinos are facing difficulties and shortcomings, they have this attitude of leaving it up to God to sort things out. An attitude of what goes around comes around. Filipino have a tendency to surrender the future to luck. They have that strong confidence that everything will work out in His interest without doing anything. Filipinos often accept bad news and circumstances without trying to stop or change them. This can sometimes be helpful in adversity, but it also keep us from finding ways out of situations. Also, constantly expecting the worst can get pretty depressing. If someone are have difficulties, problem, or like they don't have any money, they find ways from that situation to keep that problem solved. And some of the Filipinos are living it up. If they have a problem, they living it up to God to sort things out, or they say bahala na, or wala na, bahala na, or come on me, or attitude. That is the fatalism. Next, we have the manana habit, procrastination. Procrastination. True-blooded Filipino have the attitude of causing delays in accomplishing things or making transactions. When not interested or not in the mood, they wait or reserve until tomorrow or next day to finish what they're doing or meeting their transactions. However, there are some Filipino nowadays who take their time in doing things or in making decisions promptly. They are some of who are habitual late or not showing up at all. There are few Filipinos who are punctual for social meetings. In fact, it is not expected of them to arrive exactly on time, especially at the party. Example of the manana habit is when when you have a meeting with your friends, or you have a party to attend, you say that you you are you are you are going to that time, and that time are wala siya giabot na nga time. They spend time, a lot of time for traveling or going that place. Next, we have the bahala na attitude of the outcome of the manana between the tasks are left undone. This is usually shown and even expressed by people who do not care much of what lies ahead and just leave everything in faith. Like example of manana habit is if you have a task or activity that you pass in your school, some of the Filipino are ipaugma pa ang iyang mga activity, ugma-ugmaon pa until the deadline will come. Filipino work on that time when kanus ang deadline dito pa sila buhat. So that is the manana habit. Next, we have the crab mentality. This is an attitude of some Filipinos where they tend to push each other down to clear the way for their own gain. Filipino people will, with this kind of mentality or attitude, try their best to ruin each other, either by making issues against the other for him to turn out bad to the public, or to the company or organization, so that Philippine people will gradually put distance and lose their confidence and trust that eventually result in their replacement. So the example of this is the chismisero or chismiser. That is example. Number 4, we have the hypocrisy. This is the trait of the Filipino where criticisms to others' failure to live with the moral standard of the society are inevitable. In the Philippines, morality is high valued. Most of us try to live up to the standard set by the traditional society. However, as no one is perfect, many of us are not actually able to sustain their standards. If someone Filipino are nailang They have goals to achieve. They put the standards of that to commit that um, dreams or pursue that um, ambitions. The fear of being an outcast has forced a lot of people to live a troubled standard life. To hide our failure in following a norm, we tend to condemning those who could red-handed. A perfect example could be the criticism faced by those who become pregnant outside marriage. The sad fact behind the scenario is that some of these critics could have actually engaged in premarital sex to only that no proof is visible. Another example of the hypocrisy is the one who become pregnant without marriage. That is the example too. Next, we have the Ningas Kugon. Ningas Kugon, most Filipinos are very good at start when doing something. Nevertheless, after a few hours or days, the excitement to do or accomplish something is lost. We and become too lazy to finish what we have started. Some of the Filipinos are it good on start, but if how many days or hours after they feel laziness to finish their works or to finish their activities. Next, we have the tardiness, Filipino time. Only in the Philippines that we have that so-called Filipino time, but not exactly referring to the Philippines standard time. But then again, we use it to refer to the tardiness of the person what that we are waiting or who keeps on coming late to set time, schedule, or event. Instead of being something to be proud of, Filipino time brings a negativity expressions to our people. When the invitation says the program will start at 7, it is expected to begin at 9 p.m. This has not only caused conflict in relationship, it also discourages others, including foreigners, from getting involved in supposedly productive activities as too much time can be wasted on waiting. If someone have an activity or program or birthday, if the if that activity will start in 7 p.m., Filipino time are are starting in maybe 9 or 8. That is the example of Filipino time, tardiness. Next, we have the gossiping. Gossiping, Filipinos are fond of the talking about others' business. It is not true that only women are into gossiping. Even men can also be nosy on other people's life. Like example, panghimantay. They 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 problem the others living, or they they what do we call they talk that person living or the life of that person. Next, we have the blaming. Filipinos can sometimes to be self-righteous when mistake happen. We do not want to take the blame. We lack humility to accept our failures, and instead we point at others. This is show how responsible we are on our action. This attitude destroys teamwork and reliability becomes an issue. Blaming. Filipinos are always blaming. They not accept their failures. Like if you have if you are a victim of that or a suspect of that, if if they have an other people inside from that, Filipino people are pointing others to become an suspect or an victim. Next, we have the selfishness. Excuse me. Selfishness, being insensitive of others. Most Filipinos are insensitive to the needs and situations of others. This could be an outcome of having too many problems that Filipinos are facing, and the tendency is to focus on their own needs before others. Selfishness, example of selfishness is they being sensitive of others, like example is if someone have a new or brand new items, or they have lot of money, Filipinos are insensitive to the needs of others or situations of others. Mangimantay apon. Next, we have the disobedience to simple rules and instructions. Some Filipinos, despite of the understanding of the purpose of law and ordinance, have inability to observe and follow them. Consequently, crime victimations, accident rate in the Philippines are constantly rising. Poverty is getting more rampant, and lifestyle development is relaxed. Disobedience, for example, nowadays we have an crisis like COVID. Filipinos are not following instructions or rules to be safe, like they walk in the outside of the house without face mask or face shield. They going to the public place with no distancing. That is the disobedience to simple rules. Next, we have the attention taker. Filipinos are fun and people-loving race, thus attracting attention is natural for them. Nevertheless, it is a different thing to be an ipal or kapalmoks, simplify being an attention grabber. Filipino are called kapalmoks, or which means kapalmukha or attention grabber, because Filipinos are so talented and they want the attentions of others to what we call that, to attract them, or to have fun of the others. Next, we have the being onion skin or too sensitive. Another habit of attitude that we need to change is our being too proud, which usually results to being oversensitive. If we think highly of ourselves, then we have tendency to put a wall around us, and that is signboard on our forehead saying, I must be respected. Therefore, when someone make a joke or is not a positive comment about us, we feel like we are not respected, and we get offended. If all people in the country do not know how to accept constructive criticism, then we can never expect unity. Filipinos are what we call that, we are offended person. If someone are saying negativity about you, you will get offended on or you are offended to that. So next, we have the living beyond their means, social climate. One of the reasons why a lot of Filipinos live in poverty is because of overspending. Since most people want to live an elite lifestyle, many resorts to social climbing or living beyond their means. Sometimes, some of us think along as we wear designer clothes and shoes, and we send our children to the most expensive school. It is alright to be swimming in credits and loans. Filipinos are live in poverty because of the overspending. They spend their monies for not important things or not important needs. That is living beyond the means. Next, we have the passivity, lack of leadership. Filipinos lack of initiative for change. is also one reason why our country does not progress. We keep on complaining against the government and the other societal issues. However, we do not do anything about them. One of our excuses is lack of faith that our small action can bring change. However, the worst reason for this could be our lack of care for what is happening around us. Common Filipinos Common Filipinos also lack courage and confidence. If you can notice it in classroom, churches, or conference room, most of us don't like to sit in the front seat. So, passivity, lack of leadership. Some of the Filipinos are what we call a shy person. They not face the public programs like the churches or classroom. They don't sit in the front seat of the classroom or churches. Next, we have the other negativity traits. First, the last negative traits of Filipino. 15, we have the other negative traits. Some Filipino women give birth at an early age, 16, teenage pregnancy. Some just don't mind their own business. Some have many bad habits like drinking, smoking, etc. Some poor teenagers engaged in prostitution. There are many broken families, a lot of bad words to choose from which Filipinos just can't avoid saying those. Most Filipinos tend to be with friends most of the time than to be with their parents. Other negative traits is like teenage pregnancy for the Filipinos, and they don't mind their own business. And some Filipinos are have a bad habit like drinking, smoking, or etc. And other families are broken, and other person spend time from their friends than to be with their parents. So that is the negativity of the Filipino. I hope you enjoy this video, and it is clear to user, and I hope you enjoy. I hope you magustuhan ninyo mo. This is Maricel similar or this cream 2. This is done by this, and goodbye and God bless.